So immediately couldn't do that, which was fabulous. Probably should have gone to U of O. And then I decided that I wanted to just kind of dabble, do something else, look at different classes since I couldn't major in psychology because I literally couldn't get into any courses. Took some women's studies courses, absolutely fell in love with my violence against women class.
Mm.
Loved it. Decided to do some volunteer work at a local domestic violence shelter, ended up being the shelter advocate that got hired on, and just loved listening to the women's stories. Just yeah, it was awesome. So that's kind of where that came from. And then yeah, decided to pursue my master's degree doing fun stuff.
Well, look at you. It's
I
the
don't know. Look
complete
at me.
opposite of one of our other guests where she like legit hated women.
Oh, well, that's exciting for her
It was very
or
interesting.
them.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I was just like, she was just like, yeah, I hate women. And I was like, she's like, all women hate women. I was like, I don't think that's true.
Oh, I'm
Oh
here to say
yeah.
no. It's not. That's a unique experience for her, I think.
Yeah. I was like, girl, you're a therapist? I was like, I think, oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
stop. She was quite lovely, but I told her, I was like, girl, you got some stuff to work out. Spencer's like, I
Yeah.
don't think that's right.
Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, might be some stuff happening there. But yes, I mean, I specifically right now work with sexual assault survivors,
Okay.
domestic violence survivors, first responders, and folks with just complex trauma. And yeah, primarily I see folks who are LGBTQIA. I don't advertise that I specialize in that for some reason. Like I am just fucking I vibe with that population. Love them.
Love
So
the quiz.
um
Love the quiz.
Ah,
love them. They're just such a lovely people. Love them. So no, I really am really lucky to do what I do. So, and I'm
Yeah.
very fortunate to be in private practice. I started my private practice about 2 years ago-ish.
Okay.
So relatively new to that. And before that, working in hospitals, community mental health, group practices, things like that. Putting my time in so that I can do private practice and know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, look at you.
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have this thing, it's called EMDR.
Yeah.
What does that
Letters.
mean? What does that
Yeah.
mean? I don't
So
know.
yeah. Well, it stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy. It's a really awesome therapy that kind of helps folks with complex trauma and issues that are difficult to discuss and work through with talk therapy. Help them process those things more quickly and more efficiently. So it uses bilateral stimulation, which basically just means right and left movements. So it stimulates the right and the left hemisphere of the brain, so those things can communicate. And it is done via eye movements. It can be done via like vibrating tapper things. It can be done with sounds. Kind of, it can be done with swaying. You can incorporate like walk therapy or nature therapy into it. It's a really, really cool therapy. Like I love it. So, and I've been doing that for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah,
So that means you've heard some stuff.
I've heard some stuff. I've helped folks process some stuff, and yeah. I mean, prior to EMDR therapy, I did not fucking understand cognitive behavioral therapy at all. That's kind of the standard, I guess, that was taught in like my master's program. And I'm like, I don't fucking understand how talking is going to help anything through. Like, I literally don't understand. And it doesn't for my clients. Like, my clients really don't get a whole lot from just talking about stuff.
Facts. Uh, quick question here, Spence. Oh damn, I lost it. There it is. So this trauma, man. So you hear a lot of trauma. Who benefits the most from this type of therapy? Because we got a lot of folks that are listening. A lot of autistic folks, a lot of women, right? Autistic folks experience a high amount of trauma. A lot of our client folks here are women. I told you, a lot of queer-based individuals. So how can this help someone, right? You explain what it is, but what does your typical client look like? Obviously, don't get into too much details because I don't want to traumatize anyone on the pod, but who normally comes to you and how does it help them heal? What is it? What is the goal?
Yeah, I primarily see adults. And so folks who are coming to me are, usually 30 years or older. Typically folks who've experienced a lot of childhood trauma. So growing up in just really adverse, crappy experiences with some shitty parents, or a shitty home environment or school environment or something. Just something where they were exposed to consistent and constant traumatic events. Yeah. So, and then I just kind of happened to stumble into working with first responders. One of the group practices I worked with partnered with local like police and first responders, EMS, things like that. And so that's kind of one of my specialties now. And so I see folks who are in the first responder field and have had a history of either sexual assault or other like childhood traumas.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And so kind of your specific question of like who could benefit from EMDR, absolutely anybody. You don't have to have a history of trauma to benefit from it. It helps with like addiction issues. It helps with anxiety. It helps with, I mean, really helps with dissociation, helps with depression. I mean, it literally, the list goes on.
Okay.
I'm definitely one of those people where if you ask me, yeah, what do you not like about EMDR? I can't list a single thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So since someone like yourself, like just hears all these different trauma stories and things like that that are happening, how do you kind of make sure that, you know, you're not taking on too much from there? And like, how do you kind of take a break from that? Like, what do you do as a therapist that's hearing all these different trauma stories?
Yeah. How do I make sure that I am well?
Yes. How do you
That I
take
am
care of yourself?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the most amazing things about EMDR is that because it's not talk therapy, yes, I know a lot of the details of the trauma, but while we are processing, there doesn't need to be a whole lot of verbalizing what's happening. Especially, I mean, I do work with some folks who, you know, are on the spectrum, specifically ADHD, but also, you know, some other folks. And with that, it's really nice because sometimes they don't have the vocabulary to describe what they're experiencing, but they can point to where in their body they're experiencing it, which is amazing. And so that helps not only them to just continue to process through, they don't have to, you know, break and think about, oh, what am I experiencing? How do I vocalize that? Do I feel comfortable vocalizing that? But yeah, so and it also helps me because I don't have to be constantly exposed to hearing all the nitty-gritty details of, you know, trauma. So it's really, I don't want to say easy because it's not easy, but I have found a way that it's easy to kind of set those things, those details in my office. I see clients in person. I do not like online. I do some online clients because I still have clients that I have had from COVID, but COVID times. But I primarily see folks in person because that helps me, somebody who has diagnosed ADHD, leave the things in that office, leave the memories, their experiences, their stuff in my office. I close the door and I walk away, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is good.
Oh, that makes sense. I like
Yeah.
that. What's your Spence? We need to start asking this one. What's your go-to thing to feel joy as someone with stuff? Because you said something earlier
Yeah.
about what you said you might have been diagnosed with. So I assume you got some
Mhm.
stuff.
I got some stuff.
So what is like your go-to like coping method, or the thing that makes you feel good or safe or content, joy, happiness, whatever? You know the shit.
Yeah, yeah. So spending any amount of time with my dog, literally any. My dog's amazing, love him. And going on walks, being in nature. Here in Seattle, the weather is, you know, shit 60% of the time, but
Yeah.
you know, it's we kind of just get used to it. And I still want to be in nature, even though it's fucking raining, you know, frozen, sleety rain. It's still really, really nice to just get out of my house. I also crochet. That's something new that I picked up this last year. I started last November or last December. I asked for a kit for Christmas and I have not stopped since. So, and I swore to God that I would be fucking over this by now. I was like, this is going to be one of those things. I go to Michael's, I buy $4,000 worth of yarn, I do 4 projects, I get bored, and I'm done. But no, I love it. I love the fact that you can continuously just come up with new designs, crochet them, make them, and it's just so fun. And I really, really like doing things with my hands.
You probably use them as a weapon too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's the
Good.
officer. I told you, Spence, that officer came to our school and he's like, I got 7 weapons on me at all times. And he's like, bet you didn't think I could kill you with this pencil, did you, boy? I'm like, did you just call me boy? And why would you stab me with a pencil?
Fucking John Wick over
I
there.
know.
Jesus.
We're actually going to have him on the pod. He's extremely fucking intense. But he's going to help teach him self-defense coming next year. But he's like,
Baba
I got
Yaga.
3 pencils in his hat at all times so he can murder people. I'm like, bruh.
Are they sharpened or are they just like unsharpened
I
pencils?
bet you he could do. I bet you he could kill you with a fucking spork.
Spork.
Yeah, fucking
Well,
terrifying.
sporks could be traumatizing. All right.
Funny story, real quick. I got a client. comes in, right? And the front desk person goes, "Hey, Nas, ask them where they got their sweater from, their cardigan, or where the fuck it was." So, the person comes in, right? I said, "Hey, man, where you buy that from?" He said, "I made this." It was awesome. And so I could tell as soon as I looked at it, I'm like, someone made this shit. So I go back outside at Homegirl after the appointment's done. I'm like, "Yeah, he made that shit. Like, you can't buy that." She's like, "Fuck." You can make some really cool stuff with crochet.
Yeah, you can. You can make fucking anything.
Anything.
Like literally anything. And that's kind of the thing I'm discovering is that I can't get bored with it because you can literally fucking make anything.
You just keep going. I got clients that do it in class.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. My attention needs to be fully on that. I don't know. I don't understand people who can do that in public places. I would be like, this is way too overstimulating.
Yeah.
But like, that's so impressive.
Cool. All right. Sorry to pivot back to you, Spence.
Yeah. No. So this is another staple question. So is Always Sunny like your go-to show to kind of help kind of calm yourself or set your emotions to the side or anything like that? Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop.